Oh no. Hello. Yeah, I'm live. I'm live. Okay, YouTube. Right. Kids. Anyway, I'm live. Let me just welcome to Saturday Morning Live with Johnyboy. And I went early this morning because there's always a delay, and I didn't want to be late this morning. And I think we got a couple of calls coming in this morning. Let's just hope that they call in. I'm gonna just get the channel up so I can actually start seeing the comments. We got one live viewer, which is absolutely fine. There we go. There's the channel there. Let's turn the volume down on that, and I can actually see the comments as I go. Rob Fry, good morning, Rob Fry. See, easily done, isn't it? I can actually see, makes life a lot more easier. What I'm trying to do, Rob, I'm trying to get the big screen up in the studio. Still working on it. There's a few technical difficulties. Should I turn this light on because the energy prices? Hey, what a nightmare! What an absolute nightmare. Let's shut this down. We can actually see. You'll be able to see me a little bit better. There we go. There we are. There we have it. Is that good? Oh, yeah, it is. I can see it on there. 10 live viewers, 3 likes. As you join the live stream, if you can just come on and say hello, it'd be good to see who's joined us this morning, who we're talking to. And of course, give it a like. Richard Dowds, good morning, Richard. I hope you've given it a like this morning. It's amazing how we've got 12 right from the word go. Look, one thing that I do when I'm on this channel, I don't want to just run away with it and just be like motor mouth like I am on a usual basis. It's about you, it's about a community, and it's about sharing what we're doing and things and advice that we can improve. Whether you're a consumer or a contractor, we want to hear from you. You noticed this morning the title is our price is still going up. Well, they are going up. But this morning, that won't just be the topic. We're going to make sure, I think we got Nicholas McCartney joining us this morning, and he's going to be talking. I'm not quite sure what Nick is going to be talking. I'm going to make sure that he's got the number now and give him the number 95. And just so you know, if you want to call in this morning, 64002, make sure I get that right. So if you want to call in this morning and just get it off your chest and share with what's on your mind. It's so important to do that because you can get rid of all that anxiety and that build up and frustration that you see on a daily basis and we hear about. I forgot what I was going to say. Good morning, CG. Good morning. Look, guys, I'd like to. Good morning, says Richard. I want to know where you're from and what you're doing, and want to hear about you. I've lost my train of thought just then, and it was just rolling, and that's what happens sometimes when you've got a lot of things on your mind, lots of things going on around the world at the moment, and a lot of distraction. I tend not to watch the news. I've watched the news once this week, I believe. I've watched the news, and we've got to watch the news to a degree because we've got to catch up what's going on, and but what can we believe what's going on, like, you know, and I can't believe that they put the stuff out that they do. It's not always necessarily correct. Anyway, this morning, this channel, Saturday Morning Live, is not necessarily sponsored or supported by anybody this morning, but if you're looking for companies that you want to deal with and you want to talk to and you want to get a good price on things, companies like BSW, they supply wood to Jewson's and Travis and Salco's and all those out there and all those other independents. Tudor Grass, of course. Chris Tudor and Nick Tudor up there in Manchester. Go along, check them out. And people say to me sometimes about grass, isn't it? They say artificial grass is damaging the environment because how they manufacture it. Some of the grass out there is recyclable and it can be reused again. But what we got to think about, of course, is that when we're looking about the environment and the damage that is caused, and they say that electric cars are a lot better for the environment, but they forgot how much it actually costs and in damage to the earth in the carbon footprint and the problems it's causing, how they make the cars, and also, of course, is how you charge your car. The nuclear, the fossil fuels. If we look at France as a whole, France has nuclear power stations because they have no natural coal, like coal, and it's not. I think they got some, but they haven't got huge amounts. So there's no sort of fossil fueled power stations out there. Mario Rizzi has joined us. Mario from Greenkeeper Garden Services in Bedford. That's how it's done. Mario Rizzi from Greenkeeper Garden Services in Bedford. Mario, how are you getting on with that job? I'd like to see a little bit more. Connor Moore's just joined us. Good morning, Connor. MHS Fencing and Landscaping. Morning, John and Alison. Just to let you know, guys, and she's become quite sort of infamous or famous, I don't know, but part of this channel is Alison. She's not here this morning. She's had a busy week. She has a busy week, and mum and dad hasn't been very well, unfortunately, and just so much going on. Alison hasn't been very well, but the good news is she hasn't got a blood clot. It is a thrombosis. She actually had a scan the other day, so she's had the clarity now, clarification. She hasn't got a blood clot, so that's good knowing that is, because to sort of live with that. And not the scans, people aren't having scans now at the moment because they can't get to see them, because a lot of people are paying private, and the same systems that are used on the National Health Service and the private side is it's the same machines generally in places, and people aren't getting the scans that they need. See, ain't it funny how this channel is not just necessarily about landscaping, consumers and contractors. It's about a little bit more than that. I've messaged Aaron Nick now. I don't know if he's actually seen it, whether he'll join us this morning. I think he'd be calling about 1:45. So Nick, if the carers are gone, it'd be good to get you on here and get you on this live stream. Only 8 likes, 13 live viewers. The title of this video this morning, our prices are going up. Well, in fact, the prices are coming down in places. When we look at wood, I was talking to Used Forest, talking to Wayne in Used Forest yesterday, and I asked him, I said, Wayne, there's a channel that I watch called The Uneducated Economist, and he works for a big timber suppliers in the States, and he was explaining about the timber in America, how it's coming down in price because they are not building because of the probably pending recession. I've said it, that's all there is to it. We can say it and we don't have to be frightened about it. You know, people have illnesses and they say it and you don't have to be frightened of it. We know it's there. There is an illness on the way, and if not, it's probably still here now. And the fact is that the Americans had come over to Europe and actually bought huge amounts of volumes of timber, and they secured the marketplace. Now, as a result, we've got this pending recession at the moment. Henry Flint, good morning, Henry. We need to plug you in, Henry. We need to get your link on there. Let me see if I can get Elite Stone Tools. I'll see if I can do that in a moment. If you're looking for blades, Henry is the guy that you need to speak to. Henry Flint. Good morning, Henry. I haven't spoke to you for a while. It'd be good to speak to you. I get sidetracked now and again, obviously, when people are joining these live streams, and I lose my train of thought, but you have to bear with me. So we look at the prices, and I was speaking to Wayne in Used Forest, and he tells me that the prices are actually coming down. I just needed him to confirm it, not just from a YouTuber that I watch on a regular basis and listen to what he said, but he said to me, he can confirm that the timber prices are coming back down. Fuel prices have come down a little bit as well. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad out there. And I just wonder if some of the other prices have coming down. And I think that if you show some loyalty to your suppliers, they will look after you on price. And certainly Jewson's have been looking after me on prices on bagged aggregate. And when we're talking about bagged aggregate, one of the guys this week, I can't remember who it was, who actually got stopped along the road by Vosa, and they did a complete check. They had trading standards there, and customs and excise. They checked the diesel. The police were there checking the tires, checking the weight, of course, and all those sort of things, which is crucially so important. And they were saying about having products loose, when you're having products tipped on the back in some of these places, they're not weighing it, and you've got to take in consideration the moisture content as well in your aggregates, your loose aggregates. And sometimes it's probably best to get it delivered bagged if you can, but secure the prices. It's okay having it delivered loose, there's no problem with that. Get it delivered by a company. Don't necessarily go run up down the road on a trailer. And he tells me now, the police were telling him that They're in the bags. It's got to be strapped down. They've got to have dust sheets on it and all this sort of thing. So they are clamping down on everything, and so they should in some respects, because they sometimes accidents are occurred as a result of this ballast. But is that bullshit? MH8 fencing bullshit. Ballast bullshit. I'm not sure what he said. I don't know if I'm swearing now or not. I'm not sure what I'm actually saying. Message retracted. Yeah. But whatever you think of that, that's the thing. That's what's going on across the country at the moment. But timber is coming down. I want to know from you this morning, are prices coming down where you are across the country? Some of the merchants that you deal with, are the prices coming down? And if you're a consumer, have you had a price and thought, well, maybe I am not going to go for that, and then later months down the line, you've actually got a price again off the same company, and are the prices gone up, or have they gone down, or has anybody else entertained you? Actually, have you asked maybe one of those contractors that you got some other work in the future, and if you'll stick with them, they'll look after you on price? It's just, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from what you have to say about what's going on across the country at the moment. You only have to go to the garages at the moment. The prices are coming down. GM Landscape says needs to happen since they changed the towing laws. Load of unsafe loads and towing. Yeah, absolutely. What we got to realise that we are family people in ourselves. Sorry, John. Ballast, grit, sand and site gone up £2 a tonne yesterday. And it'd be nice to know, AH Landscape Garden, £4.49. I don't know what that's on. It's gone up. I want to know, it's gone up £2 a tonne from yesterday. I tell you now, what I had the other day, and this is a story. I went to my local juicers, and I use them on a regular basis. And I went in there one day, and they have got prices set up, and then somebody over the desk, it looks like Nick's not going to join us this morning. Don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine. If you're watching Charlie Hutton this morning, you can call in. Anyway, I went in, and they gave me a price, and I paid for it. And it was only when I didn't look at it straight away, but when I went to the Cardiff branch, so I was working down there, I picked up some more bag products, and Steve there gave me just a price that I was used to, and there was probably about £6 difference in price. So I went back to the Juicens branch eventually when I went back down there, and I said to him, I made him aware that I thought I'd gone through a price zone, a time zone, price zone, and the prices seemed to be more in Newport than what it was in Cardiff. But they did give me, they have amended it now, and they have adjusted it. You need to get there, and you need to get on it. Let me just read some of the comments. Paul Goodchance says, if on oil in countryside and not protected like price cap, someone said on BBC oil was £5,200 a year and going up. Oliver, do you think it would be a good idea to give people the ability to store 7.5 tonner without an operator's license? A 7.2 daily is the same size as a 3.5 tonne. Let me just read that again. Do you think it'd be a good idea to give people the ability to store a 7.5 tonner without an operator's license? Yeah, that's the thing. I think the thing is, when we start talking about operator's license, not everybody will actually understand what an operator's license is about. When you start getting to 7.5 tonner, you've got to have that operator's license. I think in some transit now, if you're picking up goods, VOSA will say that you need a tachograph, okay? A tachograph to record your journeys and your breaks. But the argument has always been that you're a delivery service. It's for you, and you're not delivering to anyone else as a business. This can get a little bit ambiguous in some cases, but DVSA with a 4-ton payload. I get what you mean, Oliver. I totally understand, but that is a good point. Yeah, it's a tough one. And, if you've got a yard and you can store your products there, I think it can be a lot cheaper. You can make savings. The thing is, what we have to try and do now as businesses with this looming recession, the prices going up, but just remind ourselves that the prices are coming down in some cases with the timber. I think you really need to go back to your suppliers and say to them, Look, I'm going to be with you for the next year. I want a fixed price. You need to fix your prices with these company. Star, morning, John. Best Matt. Best Matt. I know what that means. Sorry, it's Matt. AH Landscape and Gardening. You can drive any truck without an operator's license as long as you comply with the domestic law. There we are. This is where the information. I don't know it all, and we're having the information going about. What do you actually drive a 7.5 tonner? How many guys actually operate a 7.5 tonner? I try to keep it very limited. I'm going through this process at the moment whether I should be having a pickup truck now. I've always had long wheel space fans to pull the trailer, pull the digger, and I can get those goods, but sometimes I can get them in the back of the van. But you've got to make sure. Bob G, good morning, bud. How's it going? You've got to make sure that you are not overweight at any point. And that's not a good thing, is it? It's not a good thing if you go overweight. And as somebody said here previously on a comment, mini grab. I have an 18-ton truck with a mini grab. Well, that's a really good setup, and it can make you savings in a business. It's just the cost, isn't it, for some of us, where we are, our business model, where we are as a business, and do we want to go to that extreme? For me personally, I've always tried to keep it down and get your products delivered where you can. That's where you can make a savings. We know that sometimes those deliveries can be late and they can be unreliable. It doesn't matter what company they are, they all have their moments of unreliability. Oliver says a 3.5 ton daily with a trailer has gross train weight of 7 ton. If someone loaded a trailer wrong, it's far more dangerous than a 2 ton daily. He also says, AH, direct me and talk me through, please. AH, there we are. There is a prime example between Oliver and AH, how it works. And it'd be good to actually exchange your numbers now. If you wanted, you could private message somebody and get that information. This is where I don't know it all. What we do is on this channel, we bring you guys together to get the information on here. We want to know more from you. We're going to continue with this theme at the moment, and we're not going to move away from it because it's about what we call sharpening your pencil now and making sure that we put ourselves in a good place. And when we look at the products that we buy on a regular basis, okay, I'm going to say it, we've got to mention about the energy prices, about the prices going up. I don't know if you've seen Martin Lewis this week, and he said there is nothing more he can actually do as an expert into helping people to get those prices down. But what can we do as a business to help us to save revenue, to save the money coming in, so that we can actually, it can relieve a little bit of pressure on this massive increase in these energy pricing. Let me have a look what IH direct message me and talk to me through it, please. Yeah, no problem at all. Mario says, plan your jobs, get delivery one day early. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you've got to try and do. And if it means going there and making sure you're actually there to accept the delivery, it saves you, if you actually look at the cost of actually getting your deliveries. And I done that this week. And when you actually think, for me to run back to the suppliers and to go and pick it up, the time, the cost of the fuel, and the time in itself is a cost, because you could be on the job. And we have at the moment on our current project a good area to actually drop goods as well, which is good. Lee Andy's, good morning, Lee. How's it going, bud? Hope you're well up there in Liverpool. Bad news this week in Liverpool. Well, good news that they've actually caught that person. We've got to mention it because it's just what we do, isn't it? It's what we do. GM Landscapes and Design setup and pickup truck with an 8x4 trailer and an 8x4 drop side for aggregates. Switch between the different trailers, but getting expensive now on running costs. Just to read what GM Landscapes said there again. Our setup is a pickup truck with an 8x4 plant trailer, an 8x4 drop side for aggregates. Switch between the different trailers, but gets expensive now. It's expensive, isn't it? All across the... But we can start making savings. We start making savings. Think about the wood, think about the diesel, think about getting your products delivered to site and making it easy for you, saving time, increase productivity because you're not leaving the site to go and get it, though you've got guys on the job, but try and stay on the job if you can do that. Think about all your other materials. I want to know about bricks and sandstone and porcelain paving. And one thing, I've said this morning, but I want to try and encourage you to actually go to the companies that you're actually dealing with and say to them, look, I'm going to stay with you for the next 12 months, okay? I haven't got an account with you, whether you've got an account or whether you haven't got an account. You can say, look, I'm going to stay with you. I'll show you loyalty for the next 12 months. I want to fix the prices now, almost like your mortgage, where you get fixed rates and you get variable rates. You need to have a fixed rate with your supplier. GM Landscapes, thank you. I tell you what, you've been an absolute star this morning, giving that information, and ALH. Thank you very much. If you've got any opinions or comments, now is the time to say it. This is a live stream. Now is the time to say it. People will be watching this video after, and we have probably 300, 350, sometimes 400 people dropping in. They reckon an average time for a YouTube video is 6.5 minutes is good. And we are well over that. We're on about the 14 minutes. We're going to be staying here now at the moment with this topic that we're actually going on. Oliver, down in the south of England, the landscaping business is slowing down. How is it like in Wales? Well, Oliver, I'll tell you now, mate, we're absolutely flying. But I just love what you've done there, where you've actually said and given us some stats, some data. This is what it's all about, because this is how we're helping each other. Oliver, I want to know what you're doing on social media to help your business to keep that there in the forefront. And I want to try and help you to post and to share and get those those correct streams out there. So and those posts which will keep you going and keeping the work coming in. Got lots of comments coming in now. MH Fencing and Landscaping says, just sorted fuel cards for the fleet of 2 vans, saving a bit at the moment, paying £1.69 per litre, including VAT. Oliver, we are in Warminster, landscaping slowing up, but fencing great. Durapost, there we are. Durapost, well, it looks like I may be going to see Durapost on the Wednesday. And Oliver, that's what I was saying, is that, and I don't know if you're doing that, but MH already has told you that Durapost is good. So what we got to do as a business now, we got to look at other income generating activities that can actually create more opportunities for us as a business where we never thought that where we could be. So if we look at Durapost, for example, they've got an installer scheme. I think you need to get on there and get set up with Durapost. If you're not on it, get on it, because it will bring you more leads in. Possibly not just necessarily, it's not about getting the leads off the company, though they have got an installer scheme and they do give leads to people, but it will just put you in a different position. And again, of course, is that when you're doing fencing and doing those posts, it is a lot more simpler, though there are lots of people out there. But remember, the winter's coming, we're going to be getting those winds and those rains, and the maintenance thing that's coming in. Posts are going, concrete posts are cracking, wooden posts are rotten, and people want posts change, and Durapost do this H-shaped galvanized color-coded post that you can actually get. Landscaping Gardening, look, these guys are going for it this morning. Oliver, MH Fencing and LH Landscaping and Gardening. I've ordered 3 shipping containers of sandstone direct from India. Quarry, so cheap. Look at that. This guy's on it this morning. I'm blown away. And, there we are. 3 shipping containers he's ordered. Absolutely. Have you got a big yard, buddy? And I want to know what your first name is. I do apologise this morning. LH Landscape Gardening. I want to know your first name, and I want to see your yard. It'd be good to come and see what you're actually doing. Handy Ground, which says, yes, very sad news, unfortunately. And Lee is referring to the young lady that died in young girl, a baby that died in Liverpool. And we got to talk about current news and what's coming in, and very, very sad, very, very sad, and that these tow rags are actually out there, and they're everywhere at the moment, and they will be forever. You just got to try and avoid them. But really sad news, Lee. Not good at all. That's why I phoned you up this week. Stay safe there, Lee in Liverpool, Andy Groundworks. If you're looking for a contractor, I personally know Lee, and his work's very, very good. You can give him a call. Lee, if you want to get your number up on here at the moment, you just put your number up and people can drop you a line, because there are consumers out here at the moment watching. copious amounts of information coming in this morning. Love it. Guys, stay with it. Brian Wilson says, good morning, John, from Fort William. How's it going, bud? Hope you're well. I don't know what the weather's been like with you this week. Did any of you have any rain this week? Well, we did. We had a rain a couple of times. Then it was just drizzling. It was no good at all if you're using electrical products. GM Landscapes and Design says, I am on the installer scheme, but it does have its downsides, though. Well, I want to know about that. Tell me about the downsides. I want to know about it. If you want to give me a ring after, my number is 07795 595 994. If you want to call in this morning, any of you at the moment want to call in this morning, the number to call on this morning, get ready for this now. Just bear with me, and you can get a pen and you can write this down. The number to call in this morning is 07795 664 002. 07795 07795 664 002. I'm going to repeat that again. 07795 664 002. If you want to call in this morning and have your say and have a chat to me, I'd be over the moon to speak to you this morning. It's always get somebody to be on it. I tell you now, they always used to say that the loneliest place in the world, my father used to say, was the boxing ring. And I did experience that a few times. And it is lonely being in the boxing ring. You're out there by yourself. But certainly this morning, being in the studio right now, well, the office, the studio is coming. It is happening. Do I look right this morning? I've had a shave for you guys this morning as well. I was looking a bit scruffy this week. Got a big shout out this morning for my current customers, Maria, Alan and Jack. They've been absolutely mind-blowing, to say the least. Absolutely mind-blowing. They've really, really looked after me. I don't deserve it to be looked after like that. And it's a good job they've been feeding me, because I haven't been fed in the house this week. No, I had a stew last night. Yeah, we had a stew, and that was good. And it's so important that you feed. How many of you guys get fed by your customers? I've been fed this week. It's not just about the feeding. I've had Alan been with me all week, and he's been out there and been absolutely, just mind blowing. It's been a real pleasure to be working there, and I ain't going to want to leave, but I've got to get the job done. Anyway, Richard Dowd says, something I've not heard mentioned is storage costs. How many used lockups, etc. Has this been bumped up like the rest of the property? Yeah, it has. And I tell you now, we actually here at Greentop Landscapes have, Richard, we rent storage, and I'm not sure whether I actually need it. And they've put the prices up. But I will be going back to them and saying to them, and it's as simple as this, okay? I will be going back to that storage company because I'm a little bit like that now anyway, whether I should have it or whether I should not have it. And I'm going to be going back to them and say, well, look, with all due respect, if you're going to put your prices up, I'm going to vacate the container and ASAP, and I could actually do without it. You can just put some things in different places around here. It'd be no problem at all. And I'm thinking, should I have it or should I not have it? It's just bit of a thing. Like, it does help out when I put those big 8x4 sheets in there. So I'm going to be going back to them. I'm going to be saying, and I encourage the rest of you, go to your suppliers, go to whoever you're dealing with, and ask them to fix the prices for the year. That's what I'm going to be saying to them. I'll stay with you for a year, but you've got to keep that same price. Paul Goodchild says, when did car drivers change from 7.5 ton, 3.5 ton, when Mum Thelma wanted gravel Kiba landscaping supplies, bought 1 ton bag on a 10 ton DAF with IAB. It's a bit small, so get in small places. Yeah, it's incredible, that is, isn't it? That's, when you think about that, sometimes when they deliver the bags on these big lorries, Oliver, wouldn't it be decent if we all met up at an event, something so we could take on a personal level? Very interesting to hear others' point of view. Oliver, as it happens, listen to this now. As it happens, there is an event going on at styled.com. It's down in Banbury. It's on the 9th of September. I'm going to get it on here now so you can actually see, bud, because there is an event going on, and this is what we've been doing for some time now. I've done it. I've organised it for such a long time in different places. There is an event going on the 9th of September in Banbury. You've got to get onto the Styled website and book a ticket. It doesn't cost nothing. but you've got to book a ticket as an individual. If you want to book another one, you get on again and book another ticket. So get on there. There's an event going on, as if by magic. Yeah, and it would. This is the thing. This is the thing. It's so exciting when you go to these events and you meet other landscapers and you learn so much, because we don't know it all. We don't know it all, apart from Alison. Nobody joking. No, she doesn't know it all. She thinks she does. Anyway, moving on. There's an event on the 9th of September. It's at Styled. Get on there. Get to the page. Have a look. It'd be lovely to meet some of you guys. Get on there and try and book your tickets on the 9th of September. Starts in the morning with a bacon sandwich and a cuppa, a sausage and bacon, or bacon and egg, whatever you want to call it. And it's going to be sometime during the day, about 1 o'clock, Giuseppe's Pizza. They're going to be setting up some pizzas. But there are loads of manufacturers and suppliers coming along, even a garden designer, even the guys from Italy coming over talking about porcelain, and there's a few other companies going there. But go on there, have a look, you'll be able to find out. Shib Dodge. Hi Johnny, please could you give me a shout out to Andrew Spart, who has done some excellent work on our new patio here in Leicester. He has seen your videos and would mean a lot to him. Thanks, Rakesh. Rakesh, let's see it. Drop me an email, info@Greentop Landscapes. I want to see that picture. Andrew, listen, bud, you've done a good job. Andrew Spowart, I hope I've said that correctly. Big shout out to you. Let's have a look at those pictures. That's from Rakesh. Isn't that lovely when somebody actually goes online and does a shout out about somebody? Look, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Andrew, we want to see those pictures. If Rakesh can send me those, let me have a look. I'd love to have a look. Drop me an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk, or you can send it on WhatsApp, and the number is 07795 595 904. I'd love to have a look at that. Mario Rizzi says, Indian customers best for looking after us. I tell you now, the Indian community, the food is absolutely mind-blowing. I would love to do a job for a Cyrus Todd-Wally. Have you seen Cyrus Todd-Wally? He's on the James Martin show. He's got a restaurant in London. His food is extraordinary. It really is extraordinary. How many of you guys have had some really extraordinary food when you've been on certain projects? And I remember many years ago, literally when I was about 23, and that's going back a long time now, probably about 34, 35 years ago, up in Essex. And I was building a wall, and I remember I had to sheet this wall because the weather wasn't exactly perfect. And every day they would invite me into the kitchen. And I remember having jacket potato, cauliflower cheese and boiled bacon, sat down there with these people. The hospitality was second to none. Mind-blowing. Tell me about your story, about what you're doing and what you're receiving from your customers. And do you get a cup of tea in some cases? I want to know. Lucia says, we're looking forward to meeting you all at the fair. There we are, if by magic. Style.com, get on there, the landscaping fair. The landscaping fair, and I've been calling it for a period of time, the landscaping affair, because it will be an affair of meeting all you other landscapers and contractors out there. It would be great to see you there, Oliver says, Matt. Yeah, absolutely. Oliver, get on there. Check it out. Any of you guys that are thinking of coming, I know Mario's coming. Get on there, and I've mentioned it a few times, star.com, and get on there and book your ticket. GM Landscapes and Design. The drawback on the DuraPost is all the extras, so all the caps and brackets sold individually, even screws, which sends pricing up on fencing when doing an install. Well, that's interesting to know. But I want to know off you, has it been good for you as a business? I'm going to get down there, hopefully, probably Wednesday. I think they've asked me to go up and see him. I'm going to meet Ben up there. I want to know a little bit more about it. And, I think the question I suppose I'm going to ask about the DuraPost then as well, GM Landscape, is, and I don't know your first name, bud, so please forgive me for that. I want to know your name, is that, do you get a better price as well? That's the thing. I want to know that. And, that's the other thing. These installer schemes, sometimes you still got to go to a supplier to get your product. Do you think that as an installer that you should be allowed to buy direct because you're showing your loyalty because what you got to remember is that the people that stock these products, they are still selling those to the industry, but also to the DIY market as well. And if you're showing your loyalty, should you get a special dispensation? I know Star Paving, if you buy off them regular, they will give you a landscape and survival, or JB10, I think it is, discount code. If Matt is watching now, could you confirm that, Matt? That'd be absolutely great. Oliver says, looks brilliant to see you there. I hope you are coming, Oliver. It'd be good to meet you there, bud. Absolutely fantastic live stream this morning. We've had so many people on here for a continuity of time, and people drop off and they come and they go, and people will be watching this later. MH Fencing and Landscaping says, we got a caller. Yes! Let's answer it. Hello.
Hello.
Who have we got here?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
you.
I can hear you loud and clear. Who have we got here now?
Charlie.
Charlie, we know who you are. It's Charlie Hutton from... Charlie, where are you? You're in Nantwich, aren't you?
Congleton.
Congleton? It's not far away though, is it, Nantwich?
No, about 15 miles from me.
Stop arguing then. Stop arguing. Hey, Charlie, mate. Charlie, right, you don't know what you've done this morning. You've got probably over 23, 24 live viewers this morning, and we've had 15 thumbs up. So the show's going really, really good, as some people call it. And we're talking about everything. We're talking about, Charlie, you're a landscaper. What's your business, Charlie? Can you tell us your business and who you are and exactly where you are?
Yeah, my business is Hutton's Gardens, and they basically do all fencing, landscaping, and I'm based in Cheshire.
Yeah, so the Cheshire area. So, so if anybody was, do you have a website or a Facebook page or?
Yeah, I've got a Facebook page, Hutton's Gardens, and the website at the moment. I've got a new website under construction at the minute.
Yeah. Oh, you got a website under construction, have you?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Ah, right. Okay. Is it coming together good, Charlie?
It will be. It will be when we get there with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it just takes time, doesn't it? Do you know, Charlie, the thing is about the website, it's about getting the balance right between the images, because that's what people buy, but you still got to have words on there, because the words are crucial to Google, aren't they?
100%.
Yeah.
Well, you need all to do with your SEO.
Yeah, absolutely. Search engine optimization. Hey, Charlie, I listen, mate. If there's anything I can actually help you with that, Alison is an absolute. Have you looked at our website recently, Greentop Landscapes? Have you had a look at that?
No, I haven't. I'll have a browse at that later.
Get on and have a look, mate. Alison's done a fantastic job on there, and I think by having a look at it, it'll give you an idea of about like how it should look, because we've looked at other websites. I tell you what we did, Charlie. We looked at a lot of the Australian-styled websites. For some reason, the Australians, they just had it right. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Charlie, you got a little bit to tell us, haven't you? So fire away. You've been going through it a little bit lately, I believe.
Yeah. So I wanted to just ring in and highlight a subject that quite not well talked about in the male community, and that's mental health. I've been suffering for quite a few months this year with mental health. Didn't open up to any, shut everyone out, and it all came to head in recent weeks. Which I won't go right into it, but
no.
I made an attempt to end things, which has obviously resulted in.
I gotta say, Charlie, it's really admirable that you've actually come on here. How do you find the courage to be able to talk about this, Charlie? Where did it come from?
You've got to find the courage. You've got to find the courage to do it, because it's the only way you can face. You've got to face into it and just and deal with it.
Yeah.
And I think at the same time, if I can help somebody else talk about their mental health by talking and being out there, then happy days.
Yeah, Charlie, let me just remind you, we've got like over 20 people. We've got 20 thumbs up now. Just to remind you, this is Saturday morning live with Johnyboy. We've got Charlie Hutton from Hutton's Garden up there in Cheshire. And Charlie has been brave enough to come on here this morning. And I'll be honest with you, I did speak to him this morning, and he was prepared. And I'm actually blown away by his courage, because I don't think I could actually do it. And Charlie is telling us right now about his mental health issues. And Charlie, you're telling us you had a bit of it come to a bit of a head this week. We don't have to go into it so much. Why is it important, Charlie, to actually speak? Why is it in men? Why do men bottle things up, Char?
But it's a generational thing, isn't it? We've always been brought up that we're supposed to be the harder of the species, so to speak, and we're just supposed to, not talk. It's just not. It's not good. It's not good. Men suffer just as much as women do, if not more so, because we've got this stigma that we won't talk to each other.
Do you think? Listen, generally, I ain't saying it's now, because a lot of women work, of course, we know that, and they work from home, but for many years that men would go out. Have you seen Jordan Peterson when he talks about how difficult it is for men? Have you seen Jordan Peterson, Char?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson talks about it, and he said, men are doing some incredible things. They're out there in the rain, the wind, and when you look at the demographic of what men do, you don't see, not that they can't, and I could just got to remind that, but you don't see many women laying bricks or working on oil rigs. And some of the jobs that men do it's not easy, is it? The jobs that these people do is
it's tough. It's tough, and it can be quite a lonely life.
Yeah. Oliver just said Jordan Peterson is a GOAT. That means God of all time, and he is. And I think he suffered a lot with his mental health, Charlie. If you've never seen Jordan Peterson, you just need to get on there and have a look. And I definitely encourage you, because the guy does open up, and it will help you. Fencing says, great that you can talk about it, Charlie. Hey, I got a lump in my throat now, Char. And I have, mate. When MH Fenton says that, then great that you can talk about it, Charlie. We're all here listening, man. So just tell him your story. Just tell us. Is it been there for years, or have you suffered with it? We all suffer with mental health, don't we? All of us. It's anxiety, isn't it?
I've had issues with mental health on and off throughout the whole of my life, through childhood, various issues. But I've dealt with it along the way. But you just need to realise that there's a lot of people out there for you before it gets to that point where things go pop. And pick the phone up, go meet your brother, go meet somebody for a beer, a brew, whatever. Just talk. You've got to talk. It's the only way you'll get through it.
Yeah. Oliver says he does landscaping as his coping mechanism, and I know that for you, and you'll tell everybody on here that you love landscaping, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I do really enjoy it. When my head's in the game, I do really enjoy it, and I like the physical side of it as well. It's good for you. You're out in the fresh air. You're keeping yourself fit.
Look. I gotta say now, Char, right? I gotta go back to this point. How did you find the courage to come on here this morning to talk to me about this and a YouTube audience?
How did I find courage? I don't really know how to answer that one. All I would say is I think it's going to be beneficial for me to be more open about it and talk. It'll help my recovery, so that's what it is.
Yeah, GM Landscape says, mate, I feel your pain. Being there 2 years ago, true man to share it with everyone. Hey, Charlie, I told you I've got a few things that I haven't shared with anyone, and it's still there. And I've got to open up about it sometimes, and I don't know what it is. I just can't let go of that, and it's been such a long time. This anxiety, look, people talk about anxiety, right? Anxiety can also be a good thing. It's not necessarily always a bad thing, but surely, Char, right, is that whatever our anxiety is, it's real to us, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. When you live in that moment, it can be absolutely debilitating. But like you say, you can flip it on its head And if you look at anxiety from the other side, it can be extremely beneficial. And you do gain a hell of a lot from suffering with anxiety. It makes you a better person in the long run when you come up and start recovering.
Yeah, it does, Charlie. And I personally feel that I think what we got to turn these things, like you said, on its head. And when we look at anxiety, we got to hunger is the thing about hunger and feeling cold and wet is not always a good thing, because the first initial reaction when you're shivering and you're cold and you're wet and you're hungry is, and people going, what's he talking about? And but the thing is, when you're going through those feelings and those emotions, right, is what happens is that initially you think this isn't good, but isn't it good to be hungry, because you can appreciate your food, can't you? You know,
100%.
when you're cold and you're wet, you can appreciate the warmth. You've been in the army, you know, and you've gone through those times, and it's a good thing that you actually go through that. But at the time, it doesn't feel right, does it? But when you have a bar of chocolate or a good meal, and you're in the warmth, don't you value those things a little bit more, don't you?
Yeah, you definitely do. You definitely do. Right. They always say the darker days make the brighter days better.
Yeah,
never a true statement.
No, absolutely, and you know, this is Charlie Hutton from Hutton's Garden Services up in Cheshire, there up near where is it, Charlie? I always forget. Congleton, and Charlie's talking about his anxiety, and it's real to all of us. Mario Rizzi says, my son went 2 years with anxiety, had to hold his hand through it. Well, that's great, isn't it? His son, and he held his hand through it. Mario, I hope he's good at the moment. Charlie, do you feel that you got the friends around you now to help you through this?
Yeah, more so than ever. I mean, I've had support from people that I didn't even realise or hadn't spoken to for years, that are like, well, anytime they pick the phone up.
Yeah, we got Lee. Yeah, we got Lee. You know, Lee Andy from Liverpool. Lee says, being there the last 2 years, it's hard to talk to people as a man. We don't want to look weak and bottle a lot up until we're in a bad place, and then it's hard to deal with. Yeah, and I think that's what it is. I think Lee summed it up perfectly there, didn't he, Charlie, when he said we don't want to appear weak, do we?
No, you don't. But then you get to that point where you don't know where to turn, and then you end up potentially hurting a lot of people around you. So
it is, absolutely. You got 25, 26 people listening to you now, Charlie. So if you want to tell us anything else, that what advice would you give to somebody that is actually going through this? We don't want to go on too much about this morning, because there's a lot more to you because you're a brilliant landscaper. No, it's fine. But what would you say to somebody that's going through this now, listening now, right now? What would you say to them? Like, you know, what would you say to me? What would you say to me?
I would say, just take it a day at a time. Every day is a new fight, but you keep going, don't stop. Constantly talk to everyone and anyone around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, surround yourself with good people.
Well, I'm going to give you an ear bashing. I won't listen to you, because you know me, I'll keep talking. Style have sent you a message, Charlie. They said, to be kind to yourself, Charlie. You need to be kind to yourself. Anyway, look, Charlie, you're here. You're on it. You're a landscaper. How is it for you in the landscaping world at this very moment? And what are you going to do about all these price hikes? What are we doing, Charlie? How are we going to reform our business or shape it up to be in a good place, so that we can hit the Olympics head on? Because that's what we got to do. We've got to get ready for this storm, haven't we? Or is the storm already here? Tell us your opinion.
You just got to hit it. You've just got to hit it head on. Pass the cost on to the customers. Keep the standard there. Keep the standard of the work high. Make sure that you get value for money.
Absolutely.
But also make sure you value yourself.
Charlie, just then when you said the standard of work, your standard of work is going to be seen, isn't it? And that's what's going to get you more work, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, with things the way I took my eye off the ball a bit this year with the things the way they've been, but I know the reputation's there because the phone hasn't stopped ringing, and I've done no advertising at all.
Right. Okay.
So I know that if your phone's constantly ringing, and you're not doing a lot of advertising, there's a reason for that, because you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlie, what we got to do this morning now, because you're here, you're going to help me, right? We got Simon Stockwell now. His messages to me, but I want you to try and help me now to answer this. He says, Johnyboy, I'm pointing Indian sandstone has gone all patchy, white and light grey, dark grey, some bits damp and not drying out as much as others. Only got done 4 months ago. Don't know why, question mark. He's got all this white bits, Charlie. You know what the white bits are, don't you?
Efflorescence.
Yeah, efflorescence.
Salt.
Yeah, it's the salt coming out in the sand or in the materials that he's used. And he says some bits are still damp. That could be because it could still be holding a bit of damp underneath the patio, couldn't it?
Possibly, yeah.
Can we get some... Go on, Charlie.
The difference in coloration could also be down to temperature, if it's dried out too fast.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's all looking patchy. I would say that what he probably needs to do is get it all cleaned up, and probably even, I think if you put a breathable sealer on there, you know, breathable sealers are so important to allow the moisture to migrate. What you don't do is put one of those topical sealers on there, do you, Charles?
No, topical sealers are not the thing.
Yeah, they're gonna keep it in. Look, just going back now, we got somebody here, Peter Arcus says, I recently did a quote for some landscaping work for a new customer. After 3 site visits, 2 quotes and supplying samples, everything seemed good. Emailed last night, cancelled it due to energy costs. That could be, Charlie, not going back to it, but that can be debilitating, can't it? You've gone out there,
yeah.
Peter's done all the work, he's gone out there, he's done 2 quotes, right? Everything seemed good, he's had site visits, etc. Now he's had a cancellation, and their reason for it is because of the energy costs. How bad, have you had those moments, Charles, when you've had that? It's so disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I take a booking deposit. As soon as I book anyone in, I take £100 non-refundable booking deposit just to secure a date or a potential start date for them.
Non-refundable booking deposit. You heard that from Charlie then, and it works. And that's what we do as well. Like, you know, I think, you know, it just covers your costs. It covers at the very least, it covers the fuel costs to get there and a bit of your time. If you don't, I don't personally charge for consultation. Yeah,
it's probably something I'll do in the future, but it covers some of the costs.
Charlie, you will be on the show again in the future, but we got one of our callers, and they've got their names, and his name's Hairlip72 or Herlip. He says, "What do you all think of gator-based system for paving? Cutting the need for hardcore. Only need to dig down 4 inches. No hardcore, just 1 inch, and then the gator-based is an American system, Charles." And aspects have created a product called ClickBase. What's your opinion on these systems, Charlie? Give me your opinion, your honest opinion, and I'll give you mine.
My honest opinion is I wouldn't use it personally. I don't think there's enough proof out there that it's good enough, and there's a reason that people have been putting a 4-inch sub-base with membrane in over the years. And it's never failed, so why change?
I ain't going to say nothing in response to that. I totally agree with you, 100%. And I don't know. No, this podcast, Charlie, is not about slating or targeting anyone. A question has come up there, and the click-based systems come up, and I've seen a few things. I think that they're going to have to do a lot more training on it, and you know, I don't think it's fit for purpose, to be honest, at the moment.
I think it's got a long way to go. Way to go. I mean, everything's got its place on the market, but that certainly isn't something that I would entertain.
Yeah, he basically says, is it the end of mortar for patios? Well, I don't think it is, because I think mortars are going to be around a long time. I think we're way off. I think you've got like the what do we call it for the porcelain? You have the pedestal systems for rooftop gardens. I think they're perfect for a rooftop garden, especially if you can't put the weight on them, can you, Charles?
Yeah. I've not had any personal dealings with them, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Again, that's got the place on the market for sort of apartments in city centres and
Yeah, absolutely. Charlie, I had one this week. A gentleman asked me if I'd be interested in installing a rooftop garden with porcelain, and I said to him that you need to go back to your engineer that because he's had this extension built. He's got a room below it, and his engineer said that there's plenty of steel in it. But the thing that he hasn't taken into consideration, this guy wanted to make up the level on top of this roof 7 inches. 7 inches, huge amounts of weight. Do you remember that? Do you remember that building in Florida last year that collapsed because they took somebody below done some work, and the stress is the thing is they haven't calculated for those loads bearing down on below. And I said to him, and I don't know if you agree with me, Charles. I said, look, this is where a pedestal system would work perfectly, isn't it? Because it's lightweight, quick install, and though it's not perfect, it's not like a mortar bed, but you wouldn't want to be putting copious amounts of mortar and slabs on top of a building that you didn't know what the calculations were originally for, would you?
Definitely not, because that's a lot of liability coming down on your head.
There we are. You said the word, Charles, perfect word. I knew there was a reason that you were on here this morning. Liability, and it's about accountability, isn't it? Like, just going to read out some of the comments now. We've got Simon Stockwell says about that. So I hope that helped you out, Simon, with the efflorescence. James Sharp Kent says, good morning. Bit late to the party. James, we got Charlie Hutton from Hutton's Garden Services. And Charlie's been talking a little bit about mental health, and we're talking about how to keep your business going through these tough times. Let's have a look now. Traditional pointing, inconsistent mixes, he said about the mortar. Peter Ark says, I'm no, ain't charge, don't go down that. He said, no, I didn't charge, don't go down that. They're all talking to each other. This is what happens, Char. There's me trying to read what's going on, but they're all talking to each other. So these conversations. Style Paving, Matt at Style Paving says, have you used pedestals on concrete slab for a showpiece? Installed are a game changing for us. They have their place, but will not threat a traditional MOT mortar. And I totally agree with you with that, Matt. Peter Archer says, would it not just put the customer off straight away when I think he's talking about the pedestal system. GM Landscapes and Design says, Peter, I started charging consultation fee to weed out the customers to do less quotes, but better success rate on committed customers. Do you agree with that, Charlie? What GM Landscape says? About quotes, he says it ruled out all the tire kickers basically by charging.
It does. It does. I mean, I don't personally charge at the moment, like I say, but and I have been quite lucky. But I think it also depends on how well you present your quote to them. I personally use Zero, so I send my quote straight out through Zero. It's got all my terms and conditions on the bottom of it. And
on Zero, what is Zero? Tell us about it, Char.
It's accounting software.
Right. Okay.
So you can do.
Is it simple? Is it simple?
All your accounting, invoicing, quotes, and everything from your phone.
Is it simple, Char, to use?
I can use it, and I'm not very tech savvy, so yeah, I would say so.
Well, I'll tell you now, Charlie, I've got an accounting software, a housing maintenance software, a food maintenance software, and it's called the Alison. Alison, my wife, she's on it. Honest, it's very simple. I just look at her. I don't even have to put the information in. I look at her with a face of as if I'm in hunger and I need some love and some attention, and she answers all the calls. Simon Stockwell says, Simon again, about... he says, again, about the patchy pointing. I used a multi-purpose pressure washer, fluid, and paving and pointing after it was done. Could this have reacted to the pointing, oxidizes, or something? It probably could have, Simon. What I would say is, it's always difficult without having a look, Simon. If you want to send me some pictures, and maybe I'll send them on to Charlie, you can have a look and pass his opinion on there as well. But why don't you give... Graham at Floor Seal a ring in Huddersfield, or Bob at Lithofin. Speak to Bob and see what they actually says. Style Paving says, Matt says, Zero is great. So how long you had it then, Zero? This Zero then, Char?
I've had it for 18 months now.
Yeah, James Sharp says it's good. You've had it 18 months.
Yeah,
you'll have to let us know how it works. Because I don't know, it's good.
I'll be completely honest. I'm just like I leave it all to the accountant. She does everything. I pay them a fee, and they just manage. All I have to do is upload my receipts,
Charlie,
do my quotes, and that's it.
Absolutely. Look, listen. Just read what Peter Arca says now. He says something to think about for quotes. Gutting when you put days work into quoting plans, etc., and the final hurdle the customer just cancels. Not a good thing. It can be really upsetting. MH Fenton says, cheers for today, everyone. Great chats. Keep safe and see you at Styled. Charlie, we want you along. Matt Williams is watching now. Lucia is watching. They want you at Styled. It promises to be a great day, Charlie. Charlie, you've been to these meetings before. What's it like?
They're great. I'd encourage anyone to go to them. They're great. It's great for the social aspect, meeting other landscapers. It's great for learning about new materials. There's endless amounts of positives. But if you go along, I would 100% encourage you to do it.
I totally agree. We've met before, haven't we, on the meeting. It's good. Charlie, what I'm going to do, because everybody always wants to buy me a pint, I'm actually going to take the money instead. So if I take about 30 pints times £5 a pint, it's a lot of money, isn't it? So I can invest that in Bitcoins. Charlie, just to let you know, this is how it goes now on this podcast. This is where we throw you off and say thank you very much for sharing your story. I hope you're able to share it again. I hope you're able to share some information, and we'd like to have you on here again. But now, Charlie Hutton from Hutton's Gardens in Cheshire, get off.
Right. See you later.
Take care, bud. Be safe. Speak to you soon. Ta-ra, Charlie. Well, there you are. That was Charlie Hutton from Hutton's Gardens in Cheshire. Absolutely fantastic guy. I know him personally. He's got some fantastic work. If you're in Cheshire and you're looking for a contractor, give Charlie Hutton a ring. It's been a great live stream this morning. Peter Ark says, thanks everyone. See you at the next. So Marriott says, Zero, really good. James Sharp, Kent Garden, says, I've started doing free initial consultations, then do a free initial costings to sound them out, then seems to work. Wean off the dreamers and unrealistic, the dreamers, I like that one. The dreamers and the unrealistic people. If it's a full design job, then it will now. Absolutely. James Sharp says, be £250 plus. Yeah. It's the way you've got to be. And I think because the trouble is we waste so much time going out and spending so much time running around, costing fuel. Listen, you've got to charge for it. I think it's a no-brainer. Mario Ritzer says, Zero is right for us. Fantastic. Good weekend, all, says Matt from Style. Andy Groundworks Lee says, could you use thin set and 9mm tile? How big is the area? I don't know which one that was referring to, Lee. I've missed that. I haven't got my glasses on. I don't even know where they are. I think they're still in the van. Look, that's it. We've gone over the hour. Thanks for joining Landscaping Saturday morning live with Johnyboy. It's been a great live stream. Really appreciate 24 likes. We were up to about 28, 29 people at one point. And when I look back at the stats, it will give me a little bit more. Look, thanks for joining and thanks for sharing. And if you've enjoyed it, just give it a big thumbs up now. I'd like to see it. We're trying our best to get a little bit more technical with these live streams to make it a lot more easier and listen to what people ask to say. But thank you again for joining this morning. I've got to go now because I've got to get Alison's dinner ready. As if. Anyway, have a great day. Have a great weekend. Be safe. See you next week. If you've got any information that you want to fitness videos, Alex fitness video. If you've got any information you want to share with me, drop me a line at info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk, or you can drop me a message on 07795 595 994. Drop me a message there, but just drop us a message on WhatsApp if you want. If you want my number, just drop me a message and I'll get back to you. Happy to talk to all of you. Stay safe and be safe out there. Have a great weekend. No problem, Brian. See you again soon. All the best. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend. See you at Style.